guys, hey everybody, welcome to my weekly mindset show on a Thursday at 1 o'clock every week for you. Drop me a hey if you are here live, and pop me some comments in there so I know that you're here, and we can have a chat as well, and do a hashtag replay if you are catching up on the replay. I answer all of the comments, so just please just pop a note in there and let me know that you're here, and if you've got any comments. I've got a funny screen come up actually today, I'm not quite sure. That's a bit peculiar, isn't it? Hopefully you can all see me okay. Just drop me a hey if you can see me okay here. So today we are going to talk about overthinking. Now, we all obviously think, don't we? But are you actually letting overthinking affect you in your business? Do you endlessly kind of deliberate when making a decision, and then you're just questioning whether you've even made whether that decision's right or wrong as well anyway, and you overthink everything. You read into the smallest amount of details. So pop in any comments here if this is something that affects you. Are you constantly thinking about, are you going to make your money in your business, or you're successful in your business? It's something that's constantly replaying over in your mind, or you're worrying about what other people might think. So it stops you actually, especially social media right now, a lot of people actually don't go on to social media and do lives or post or whatever, because they're just afraid of what people might think of them, and they're overplaying that in their mind, which just actually stops them doing it. Or you kind of let that little the self-talk in your head, you let your self-talk build up, the negative self-talk, when it's actually bashing you a little bit, and you let it build up in your mind. So drop me a note if any of this actually resonates with you. I've got a bit of a blank screen at the bottom, so I'm not sure if I can actually see any comments today or not. But drop me some haze, drop me some love hearts, again, why put a like if you can put a heart, please pop them in so I know that you're all here. Now, it all happens to all of us, doesn't it, at some point in our lives, and we all experience events and certain situations that give us some worry or stress, and that's fine. But for some people, you can't actually turn that off. You can't actually turn off that chatter in your mind, and you go over and over and over and over things, and you worry about the future, you worry about the past. You're talking yourself into the unlikely events that haven't even happened yet as we're doing it. And what happens then is this overthinking, it's like that running commentary in your own head. It's constantly playing back to you, criticising, picking apart different things, and why did I say that? Why did I do that yesterday? Why did I do that last week? Or the future, all of the what ifs and the shoulds, what if this happens, or I should be doing that, and you allow that to dominate your thinking. And often you end up with this, where you don't sleep well either. You're often waking up in the middle of the night with thoughts running back through your head, and actually keeping you awake. Again, it's kind of the worry about the past, what's already happened, and constantly replaying that, and then what's coming up for the future, and dwelling on things that may or may not even happen. So basically, whatever you hold in your mind on kind of a consistent basis, that becomes your reality. So if you're constantly going over something, that's what you're pulling into that. When we kind of overthink or dwell on either the past or the future, and we're overanalyzing the situation, and we're going over the same thing over and over again, and what we don't then do is we don't close it down. We don't close the situation down, and we don't actually make a plan of action either. So we can't become in this kind of loop of going around and around and around with it all. It becomes a bit of a cycle. And what can actually happen there is when we're replaying things over and over in our mind, we can actually become, paralyzed by, it's paralysis by paralysis, effectively. So you're afraid to then take the wrong action, and you then don't take any action at all. Now, the one point just to add there, that you might think it's the wrong decision or the wrong action, but it's probably not. It's probably your mind playing tricks on you. So even taking the wrong decision is better than making no decision at all. Now, the problem with this is the more and more that you overthink everything, the more it becomes a habit, and it becomes a bit of a vicious loop, and it makes it much harder to stop. So let me know if this is anything that, who's experienced this, who would say that it's something that they do, they're overthinking, and they want to do something about it. Let me know if you want to do something about it. Ooh, nice little hot lemon there. Now the problem with this, when we're actually doing all of that, is it can become completely draining. It traps us in this worrying cycle, and it saps your energy. It really can sap your energy, and almost your sense of control over your own life. You kind of feel as if you're running, and you're in this wheel spin of things going on, and you're not in control of it. And it can make you feel that you are stuck in one place, kind of replaying it over and over and over. And if you don't act, it can really impact on your day-to-day life, and it can cloud your judgment as well. And it can actually very quickly put your health and well-being at risk. It leads to anxiety, it leads to stress. Now it's time, if you're ready, it's time to actually face your fears. Because all of this kind of overthinking is usually a fear-based emotion. It's usually down to fear that we've got it, fear of something. And so it's time for you to face your fears. Fear's going to be there anyway. Fear will always be there. It's going to be with you. Now what I want you to do is kind of bring it along for the ride. So put it in the car with you and bring it along for the ride, but just don't make it the driver. Just don't make it the one that's in control. There was a quote, and I can't remember who actually said this, but it's either you can be a counsellor. You want fear to be your counsellor, not your jailer. So you want to have it with you, because it's a great guide for your feelings and how things are, and whether you are moving in the right direction or not. It's a great guide for you. It makes you come out of your comfort zone. It makes you take action that you may not do. So it's great to bring along with you. What you don't want it to do is beat you down, because it will try and keep you safe. Safety's in the comfort zone. So bring fear along with you. Have it be your accelerator, your motivator, something that excites you. So get it to do that. Just don't let it control you and lead you. So here are going to be some tips for you now to kind of manage all of this overthinking. And it's something, this is something that I've had, and something that I know that if I don't do these kind of techniques, it can start to control my life too. So I know these work, and it's something that I do often to make sure that I'm kind of back in control. Because like I said, it can spiral out of control a little bit. So the first one, and I've got a couple of notes here. First one is to actually identify the overthinking before it actually gets out of control. Acknowledge it. That self-awareness part can really help you recognize the patterns that you're running yourself. And then you can start actually developing some coping strategies for it. And the more and more you do that, the more that becomes the habit rather than the overthinking. So the next one is, I think when you are overthinking, you're either living too much in the past, or you're living too much in the future as well. So living in the moment is actually one of the key ways to stop overthinking. Take a minute to reset. Breathe and focus on the moment. Now, I know that meditation is not for everybody, and it's something, again, that has kind of been a recent habit of mine that I've developed more of and felt that it's had a lot of benefit. So it's not for everybody, but actually just taking a minute to sit down and focus on your breathing is a great way to actually get yourself centered and back in the moment again. So even if you're not doing a full meditation, and my meditations are, generally no longer than 10 minutes. So I think you can allow yourself sort of 10 minutes to actually focus just on the now, where you are right now. Not in the past, not in the future, where you are right now. So give that one a go. Like I said, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. Then I've got, understand what it is behind the overthinking. When you're feeling anxious, I want you to dig deeper. Find out what it is that is going on for you. It's often about facing your fears or larger fears. Such as, it might be that you're not feeling in control of your life, or you are worried about, where the next customers are coming from, or you are worried about, your bank account or whatever. So go really delve deep into what is it that's going on. That maybe you're not progressing in the way that you wanted to be. Maybe you thought you'd be far more forward in your business than you are right now. So just question yourself, what is it that you are actually overthinking and replaying and going over and over again? Because actually understanding the root cause of it is one of the first keys to actually making progress on sort of, managing this. Also talk yourself out of it, by noticing when you're actually stuck in your head. Kind of give yourself a bit of a telling off. Give yourself a chat. By actually getting a grip on your own self-talk and often reframing it, it can really, really help you just by flipping that switch, by, noticing when you're in it and actually kind of going, whoa, it's absolutely fine, and flip it around. And actually a great technique that I've used for a long time, actually, and I even kind of use a few hand signals every now and then, very, good hand signals, is if this, your thought, this constant thought and this constant overthinking is actually fueling your anxiety for you and making situations much bigger than they really are, because that's the effect of this, isn't it? Is to really go, stop. Just say stop, say it out loud, stop. Because this will shift your focus. It will shift your attention onto something different. It's like a pattern interrupt. So actually, when you've got these thoughts over and over and over again, just literally go stop and stop the thought there. And the other thing as well to add to that one is then change your environment. You go for a walk, go and read a book, do just a different activity that's going to take your mind away from the constant overthinking. Just change your environment, put some music on, switch it around, just do something different. Okay, and then the next one is, and you might think this is a bit strange, but actually, don't actually hold the thoughts back. Because when we're holding your thoughts back, so a lot of people go, oh, I'll keep having all of these thoughts. Oh, I need to push them down. I need to push them down. And that's actually the worst thing you can do, because they'll just come back with a vengeance for you. So what I want you to do is just accept that you're going to have thoughts. Whether they're good, they're bad, the ugly, indifferent, whatever they are, just accept that you're going to have thoughts. And, just let them pass sometimes. And you'll be so surprised by just doing that, how much you will think less about that situation by doing that. The next one is my favourite. And it kind of leads on to the one we just talked about when thoughts come in. And this is the brain dump exercise. It is one of my favourites, the brain dump. Get it all out. Get it all out. Plan in some time in your diary, and I mean actually put some time in and call it your thinking time. Whether it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Now, I normally find when I start this exercise that I think, right, I'm just going to give myself 10 minutes, and then literally half an hour later I'm still writing because I've got so much coming out. So let it all out. Get a piece of paper and literally just offload. It's incredibly powerful, and it's particularly powerful if you're in business and you have got, maybe you've got a launch coming up, or you've got a project coming up, or a particular breakthrough coming up that you need to be very clear and focused for. And this is an excellent exercise for doing that, getting you focused and clear on what your solutions are. So brain dump, get it all out there, and literally just keep on writing. Keep on writing. Gabby Bernstein actually calls this rage on a page. So you literally let out all of your thoughts, all of your anxieties, all of your feelings, all of your frustrations, and actually ask yourself, what is it that I'm frustrated about? What is it so ask yourself these questions. What do I need to do to move forward? What is holding me back? What do I need to learn from these thoughts? What do I need to let go of? So ask yourself some probing questions as well. Get it all out onto the page. And if you once you've actually scheduled that time in your diary, and it's not something you need to do every single day, but just do it every now and then. I quite like it, certainly when you start off with this exercise, to do it at least once a week. And if you find that you've scheduled the time and then the thoughts come in the rest of the time, park them, make a note of them if you want to, make a note of them, but make sure you then have your thoughts in that when you've got your diarised exercise, so that you're not then constantly going backwards and forwards. It kind of gives you that permission to go, do you know what, I'm going to have a wallow moment and wallow in all my thoughts. So it gives you that permission to do that. So actually book that in your diary and give it, absolute brain dump. Like I said, then ask yourself those particular questions. And then you're going to come up with some solutions to take action on. So, when it says what's holding me back, you know the answer. You'll know the answer. It will come to you. So what is it you've written down? What do you need to let go of? And then you can take the action. Because the only way to stop this overthinking cycle is to get yourself back in charge of your life. So if, for instance, you're overthinking because you're stressed at work, rethink your career path. Get yourself back in control. If you're not sure where you want to be in life, get yourself, set your goals there. Set all your goals that is actually going to take you forward. Or if you feel that your life's kind of out of control, make the decision today. Once you make a decision today to get back in charge of your own life and you're back behind the wheel, everything else starts changing, because decision and commitment is the fundamental core. It's what moves you forward. Once you've made that decision and made that commitment, that's where you're heading. So do that. Commit to yourself today to get yourself back in charge of your own life. It takes a lot of guts, honestly. It does take a lot of guts to do that. And you will constantly be, pulled back. But the more and more you do this, you'll realise you're the only one in control of your own reality. So make it the reality that you want it to be. Don't let these thoughts, get lost in those thoughts of, what could have been, what would have been, or what should you have done differently? Because this overthinking can seriously impact your health. It really can. So that overactive mind can make you really miserable. So learning how to actually get yourself out of that is something really useful for you. Now, like all habits, and anything like that, you know, anything that's actually changing behaviours and patterns in your life, they're not something that you can just flip the switch and they're done. You know, otherwise everybody wouldn't, you know, you'd do them straight away. It does take time, and it can be a challenge. I'm not saying that it's going to be completely easy for you, but it is possible. And I'm actually running a 4-day free training starting on the 22nd of June. And it's about creating your stellar mindset. It's about reprogramming these thoughts patterns and propelling you forward in your business and in your life. These are lifelong habits. I'm going to drop the link in the comments there. It's going to be a really fun learning week. Now, I could charge for that program. I could charge for that program, but it is a freebie. But I don't want you to see it as a freebie. It's a 4-day training full of actual techniques that you can use to transform your life rapidly. You know, you're going to have tangible actions in there. Tangible actions that are going to give you these practical techniques that you are going to be able to move your life forward. So I will drop the link in the comments so that you can register now. I want you to register right now once I've popped the link in, and you know, we get started on the 22nd of June. I hope you found that useful today. I'm sorry I can't see anything that's underneath my screen, so I have no idea if anybody's commented or whatever, because I can't see anything. So I apologise for that today. I will, when I go back into it later, I will answer any comments or, you know, say hi to everybody that was here. So thanks for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this, please share these tips with anybody. Share the love and get them onto, you know, come and join on my page. Like I said, I'm here every week at 1 o'clock, and it'd be great to see you here. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. Bye.